Mbeka bilo so gapololo dalo tinu gbajana makucha madondo jiba.
In Togo, time passes unwatched as the Atlantic Ocean laps at its 32-mile coastline. Although Togo is as small as West Virginia, there are over a dozen different tribes and as many different languages spoken here. Little industrialization in Togo has left the people's proud natures unspoiled. For centuries, they have been self-sufficient and free of the demands of employers, which has made the average Togolese as hardy as the sun and the soil that nourish their crops. Just 314 miles north of the Atlantic, Togo borders with the country of Upper Volta. On the way northwards, some girls play Togolese hopscotch. It's a very coordination-demanding game. Both girls jump into the air, the leader does a fake and then kicks out a foot. The challenger must imitate her kick, reflex fast before she lands. In Togo, the children are their own best form of entertainment. These men calculate their way through a game of Togolese backgammon. The game requires mathematical wit, speedy decision-making, and nimble fingers. This old Muslim is unbeatable because surrounding him are players eager to beat the grand winner of Aba, as the game is called. In Togo, idleness is not a cardinal sin. It's used to think, converse, or play. It's not something to feel guilty about. Life just happens without much prior planning or worry. Just sow your fields, cultivate them, and let nature take its course. All government employees, including school teachers, must wear a button picturing the President of Togo, or else they won't last long in the system. Needless to say, the President has stamped out absent-mindedness. The President has reigned peacefully for 16 years, unchallenged by political opponents and never bothered by demonstrations, because dissent of any sort was officially prohibited. Yadama helped this community by providing them with electricity and running water. So when the President comes to town, it's a celebration. There he goes now. For inspiration, all the elementary school children along President Yadama's official route must sing songs of his adulation mixed with songs against imperialism. At the village level, the same songs ought to be better choreographed or the village elders' heads will roll. At the regional level, a spectacular manifestation welcomes the President. Actually, for all the anti-Western sentiments sung at these political gatherings, the people stay surprisingly unaffected, especially the rural population who still look upon white people as their saving grace. This huge empty parking lot is located at the historic site marking President Yadama's survival of a terrible plane crash. The only time this memorial attracts any visitors is on the national holiday celebrating the incident, when representatives from every district are expected to show up for the festivities. President Yadama blamed his plane crash on an act of sabotage by the French and capitalized on the incident to nationalize the country's French-owned potash mines. With all the new foreign exchange coming from the mine, President Yadama built a luxurious hotel named after the site of the plane crash called Hotel Sarakawa, complete with Olympic-sized pool where wealthy Africans and affluent Europeans can separate the sunshine from the surrounding poverty. The President even built a 26-story skyscraper with an elegant restaurant on the top floor. Although the restaurant soon closed, the modern structure stood as a tall reminder that Togo was just as good as any Western country. Away from the nation's capital, life's link to the supernatural is much more real than life as a bellhop in the city. This woman grates manioc while a very involved ceremony takes place not far away. 5 girls are being reinitiated into their family after having spent 3 years serving the voodoo fetish. These girls ranged in age from 8 to 15 when their family sent them to the fetisher to earn the goodwill of all the spirits affecting their families' lives, such as the spirits that govern rainfall to the birthing of a baby. Once at the voodoo ashram, the girls were not allowed to go to school, play with boys, or wear anything but a white cloth around their waist. Their duties were to attend the sick and mentally ill who sought cures at the ashram and to assist private ceremonies. Despite the popularity of Western religions, voodoo is still the most powerful guiding force in the lives of the southern Togolese. It is their native religion, and it endows everything in nature with a force that is possible to favorably influence through prayers and offerings. The dancing went on non-stop for 3 days. Exit from the enclosure where they have gone through cleansing rites to prepare them to return to normal life. The voodoo fetisher, proud as a rooster, walks away from his completed work. Meanwhile, the girls receive gifts of hand-spun cloth to compensate them for their 3-year loss of freedom. On the railroad headed north, sour-tasting wild fruits are sold to passengers at train side. Everybody is buying them because they are seasonal fruits which have just ripened. In Togo, nature is always holding out another fruit, from avocados to oranges to pineapples. On the other side of the train, the charcoal sellers casually wait for customers. Even though trains are less popular than taxis for reasons of efficiency, the train continues to haul cargo and passengers along the 66-mile stretch of track that the German colonists built before World War I. On Mount Agu, Togo's highest elevation, the villagers are planning to celebrate one of their favorite foods, the inyam, which is a tuber so high in carbohydrates that it kills hunger with ease. The village will also celebrate the day a century ago when they fought off the attacking Ashanti tribes by hurling stones and casting magical spells on them. This village is only accessible by footpath. The festival started out with a prayer to the inyam. The strong local alcohol is poured onto the ground where the ancestors reside. Soon the blood will fall from the beating heart of the ram onto the ground, where the earth spirit will take notice and be thankful. This man is a representative of the village's past warriors, who threw rocks like the one on his back at the attacking enemy. Some people, their personalities stolen by the spirits, drink of the blood. The stone man is always on the alert, well protected by the white cowrie shells strung about his extremities. One touches the sacrament. He is physically strong and connected to the ground. Some writhe in the hope created through this ceremony, entering an invisible world. The warrior now pretends to fight off the attacking Ashantis. In the jungle among the flowering banana plants, farmers have knocked down palm trees to make them produce a white intoxicating sap known as palm wine, the most popular alcoholic beverage of southern Togo. The farmer must carve a hole near the tree's bulbous base for the sap to flow into. The sap is then drained out some smaller holes into a clay catch pot beneath the trunk. Every morning and evening the wine is collected. Due to the scarcity of the palm tree nowadays, the wine usually doesn't make it to the street corner before it's grabbed up for larger ceremonies like funerals. Also, much of the wine produced is distilled into sodobi, a Togolese form of white lightning, whose preferred potency has created a growing number of alcoholics. This skinny man is the keeper of the still. He's tying a bundle of branches together to make a torch, which is used to apply heat to the inside of the palm trunk to stimulate more sap to flow. Although these stills have been made illegal by the government, there is little enforcement of the law. Sodobi is very popular because it is so potent and cheap. A shot glass full only costs 7 cents, whereas the imported stuff costs 6 times as much. The instant you gulp sodobi down, you feel a burst of warmth spread throughout your body. Many men drink a shot before heading to the fields in the morning, and as an aperitif before a meal of corn pot, and often as an aphrodisiac drunk before nightfall. For 80 to 90 proof alcohol, it has a delicate taste and a pleasing aroma. Unfortunately, some unscrupulous still operators have been reported to use refined sugar and rusty nails to make sodobi, which can really give you a headache. Here, palm wine is being served to a man attending the funeral of the chief of Atime, a village in southern Togo. Funerals are major community events where everyone pitches in to help give the deceased a happy send-off. A funeral for an adult will usually last 3 days. Here is a photograph of the deceased chief. The village chiefs from neighboring towns have come to pay their respects to one of their peers. Here they leave the home of the chief, who has been buried as is custom within his house. The village chiefs are still active in settling domestic problems and boundary disputes. Of course, the government legal system is available to anyone who wants to undertake the hassle of using it. First day of the funeral is filled with long eulogies and testimony about the deceased, which lasts all night because the Togolese are such long-winded orators. The funeral revives itself the next afternoon with a big feast, much dancing, drum playing, and singing that again lasts all night long. The third day is devoted to an afternoon of food and revelry to give the deceased a merry send-off. Fond memories of the departed make even the most stout-hearted cry. This woman acts unaffected about the loss of the chief, probably because men have expected her to wait on them hand and foot all her life, so their departure causes her little anguish. On the Dak Plateau, some enterprising young men are harvesting and threshing upland rice. Hybrid strains of rice were only introduced into Togo 12 years ago by the Taiwanese. Since then, rice has become a very popular dish, although too expensive to be eaten often. On this plateau, the weather is cool and the rainfall is more abundant than in the valley below, which makes it an ideal place to grow rice. All the work is done by hand, so the acreage is small and the harvest usually goes into the family storehouse. Coconuts are not only a delicious food, they make a sweet, cool drink on a typically warm Togolese day. Some of the local kids don't even think twice before they scale a limbless coconut palm to grab a snack, plus a couple coconuts to sell. This boy climbed all the way up the tree carrying a machete so that he could cut open a coconut. Nothing edible is overlooked in Togo, where the saying about food, "If it doesn't kill you, then it will make you fatter," is taken literally. Kids go after field rats with the same abandon as for coconuts, by digging deep under termite mounds to ferret them out, because the rats make such juicy rotis. In Togo, water is not easily obtained, so it's treated respectably and always graciously served to house guests. This toy may be simple, nevertheless, this child's imagination will fill in the missing details. What's this? The army ants are coming like the Mongolian hordes. They stop for no one on their cross-country campaign, plundering and pillaging everything that moves. These kids got the idea and hightailed it out of there. One ant too late. Today is market day. The day starts with some pupils sweeping the schoolyard. Every village in Togo must build their own primary school before the government will send them any teachers. The poorer villages use local building materials of straw and wood, while the richer villages build schools with tin roofs and cinder block walls. Other school children draw water for their showers and for their parents before going off to school. Children often carry so many buckets of water on their heads, a small circle of hair wears off them. Before school, these boys head to their manioc field to dig up a few tubers for lunch. Most women can't depend on their husbands to give them an allowance, so they start marketing something like oranges. One of the most common trades men and women learn is sewing. It's profitable because manufactured clothes aren't readily available. These men are drinking a calabash full of steaming akasa, a tasty porridge made from corn that is served in the early morning and evening. The Togolese have the greatest number of recipes for corn. Nevertheless, Togolese cuisine is extremely limited. The marketplace is completely empty at this hour, but in a little while all these stalls will be filled with goods and the corridors clogged with people. Market day, or le jour de marché, as they say in this francophone country, if they have ever gone to school, where all subjects are taught in French, is the climactic event of every week. These cola nuts are Togo's substitute for a cup of black coffee. After you've chewed these bitter nuts, you'll feel a hell of a lot more energetic, but they'll turn your teeth orange. At the butcher's, the freshly cut beef of the day is drawing more flies than people. Meat is too expensive for most tables anyways. Out of very cramped taxis arrive vendors and their ragtag boxes full of goods. They attract little helpers from out of the woodwork to help the moneyed vendors with their unwieldy loads. A hausa sells the most popular cloths of Togo, brightly colored wax prints, the best ones imported from Holland. The female wholesalers of this cloth in the capital city of Lomé are nicknamed Mama Bens. They are the wealthiest people in Togo and are chauffeured from their modern homes in Mercedes. These men descend to hobnob with their comrades at the Adeda Marché. Togolese men are stalwart, unmovable types who have weathered all the storms of life, empty of appliances. Only the fittest of them have managed to survive. Friends shake hands in Togo with a snap of the fingers. Ah, the millet beer has arrived. Rubber sandals are always in fashion. If the thongs break, the shoemaker staples them together again. Sandals are a step up from bare feet, but not by much, since most people's soles of their feet are twice as thick as their sandals. From the outback, the farmers' wives walk distances of 20 miles carrying extremely heavy loads, which weigh nothing at all when properly balanced on their heads. They bring the inyam tuber, celebrated earlier, and boma, a Togolese spinach. The women carry heavy bags of corn with tremendous endurance that far outmatches a man's, as their smiles tell. They bring hot peppers to market, eaten in bulk in Togo to supposedly fight off the heat. After their sweaty 20-mile trek, these women decide to change their clothes to look more presentable in the marketplace. They put on their nicest wax print dress to sell such indelibly staining things as red palm oil, the most used cooking oil of southern Togo, which comes from the same tree as palm wine. The marché or marketplace draws people from all directions with the magnetism of a Bloomingdale's. Shopping must be one of man's most basic drives. It is especially basic to these people from the outback who need to buy things like salt and spices. Another product of the palm tree is this locally made soap, which is perhaps responsible for the Togolese people's great complexions. The enormous crockery carried by these women is either used to hold water at the house after it's been hauled up from the brook, or placed under a rain spout to collect rainwater, and to hold millet beer or chikatu, the northern tribe's alcoholic drink. A great number of President Yadama's Kabylie tribe have left the north to farm the richer soils of the south. The less industrious southern Ewe people just sit back and buy their plentiful harvests. Most food is cooked outdoors, making the villages smell like campsites at night. The marché is about to explode with people as this last group arrives. The sweetest of them all, sugarcane, rounds the bend. An artful display of boxes of macaroni can really boost sales. No amount of discomfort is going to stop this entrepreneur. She is determined to sell her wares. The marché reaches its peak around noon and will peter out around 4:30. Daylight in Togo lasts from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. year-round, since the country is only 8 degrees north of the equator. A couple bowls of corn after milling yields enough flour to feed a large family for a week. That's because Togolese corn's tiny kernels are rich in carbohydrates. The corn is brought into a noisy mill and ground 2 or 3 times to make a fine flour. It's later boiled and whipped into a paste for dinner. With money so scarce in Togo, people are shameless. Fish is the Togolese people's main source of protein. Tiny minnows dried throughout may not look appetizing, but they taste great in the sauce. Salt is bought in crystalline form and then crushed with a stone along with other condiments, and the mixture is then added to a simmering sauce. This girl, who has been locally treated for her swollen eye, should next see the marché medicine man, who not only has treatments for headaches, diarrhea, and vomiting, but he has hundreds of other remedies in stock. Most Togolese know the herbal remedies for fevers, etc., but not all the ingredients may be easy to find, so they must go to an outdoor pharmacy like this one. This girl finishes carving a pilon for use in pounding morsels of cooked inyams, which will soon be ready to be dumped from this pot into a mortar and beaten to a delicate consistency. 3 people are pounding the inyam to shorten the serving time at this restaurant. Outside at a street restaurant, a woman serves herself a red palm oil sauce. Money from neighboring Ghana is so worthless that a black marketeer falls asleep with it in his hand. The Togolese believe these clothes come from dead Yovos, Yovos being white people. A woman looks over a machete that she wants to buy to make gathering wood easier. Like most Togolese women, she keeps her money tied up in her panya or wraparound. This way of keeping money is more practical than carrying a purse. And who else is more practical than a Togolese woman who buys a machete on her big day of shopping in town? Another favorite shopping item for women are these gaily painted basins manufactured in China. Women collect them with the passion of an antique collector because they believe they'll never go down in value. And if you didn't like dried minnows, these deep-fried fish are much juicier. Scars on women's cheeks could only be sexy in Togo, where the girls are feminine tomboys, beautiful even when tarnished. Togolese girls are demure when alone and bawdy when together.
Stop, 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 make you no cry again. Oh my mother.
Bedford trucks imported into neighboring Ghana by the English have been on the roads for a quarter of a century. Bras are a new arrival made popular by the jealous wives of polygamous husbands who are always lusting after shapely young girls. Other toiletries are important, but ever-ready batteries are crucial to keep their radios a-humming. When it's time to crash out, most people sleep on grass mats, but if you can afford a bed frame, then you just got to get yourself a hay-filled mattress. Now the Marché, the heartbeat of Togo, is at full momentum. Away from the madding crowd, a fisherman prepares his trap beneath a mighty unexploited waterfall. The waterfall is a symbol of the freshness and strength of spirit I found in these wonderfully unspoiled people. Meanwhile, back in New York, Togo's brothers are singing.
Too much, too many people, too much. Too much, too many people, too much. A baby cries and a mother dies, and the tears fall from the doctor's eyes, because in this room, on this day, the good Lord has given and taken away. The gift of life really means a lot, and in the ghetto, your life is all you got. So you take to the streets, trying to exist in the trash and slime of a world like this. What you watch on TV tells you what life is supposed to be, but when you look outside, the only thing you see is a poverty-stricken reality. Abandoned places, angry faces, much hate and hunger throughout the races. You say I'm grown and I'm on my own, so why don't everybody just leave me alone? Now you stay at home, talking on the phone, doing 90 miles an hour in the 50-mile zone. They never took the time to tell you about sex, so you had to learn about it in the discotheque.